welcome to the Solution Podcast.
Welcome, guys.
We are ready. We're here for another episode.
I would say words that trigger people.
Yeah, triggering talking
We're talking
points.
about
words, words.
words. Yeah, that's a good one actually.
Yeah,
words that trigger people.
Yeah.
And before we get going, we have some important news about the website. We've got solutionpatriots.com.
Yes, sir.
Is up.
Yes.
Up and running.
You need to go over there and join our mailing list.
Yes, please.
There you'll get all the latest info of what's happening. We got so much going on. We got the episodes. We got the Patreon unfiltered. We've got new ideas popping up and all kind of things. So the website is going to be the best way to get informed about everything that we do.
Yeah,
it's the whole thing. So
absolutely.
Go and check that out. And you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the other socials. We are there as well. And keep
We have the mailing list as well, right?
That's
the new email. Yeah, info at solutionpatriots with s.com.
Sign up to that mailing list, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes.
We're seeing all the new subscribers, all the comments.
Salute to you guys.
Good stuff. Engage with us. And don't be afraid to think what you want to think.
Yeah, and fire back. Like when we respond, fire back, because you lot are trying to get cute with some of your comments, and when we fire back, it's crickets. Like
we're looking for engagement. You know what I mean? The more you engage, the more we can promote these type of conversations. Yeah. Because we need to be having these type of conversations, because the way where things are heading right now, it's not good. So our podcast is about promoting these type of conversations. So your engagement is absolutely necessary, guys. So like don't be afraid. You're not going to hurt our feelings.
Exactly. Come as hard as you want.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we want to hear everybody's perspective to see the right perspective.
That's right.
It's only by challenging your perspective can you know if you're on the right line. So it's all about just having a melting pot of different opinions and then fishing out what makes sense and what doesn't. It's like sifting through, and that's how you get to the source, man.
Absolutely.
So please take part. It's all fun. It's all love.
Test us, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
If we say something that triggers you, come back with your argument, and then if we come back with, a counter argument, you come back as well. Test us, test yourself.
Exactly. Just don't get triggered.
That's the only way to get to the truth anyway, is by consistently testing. We always say our podcast, we always say it's testing it through logic, reason and evidence.
Yes, sir.
And as long as we're using that to test out what we are talking about, we think that we are going to reach the truth much quicker.
Yeah, it's not personal.
It's never personal.
Yeah, that's it. We're always constantly testing each other here. So
exactly. You see us do it amongst ourselves,
and I'm always winning.
You see it on the podcast.
Let's get to it.
You see it on the Patreon.
I'm excited for this topic, guys.
This is an interesting one. It's all about words that trigger people, and the first one on the list is the patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Does someone want to come in first of what do we mean by this? What is the patriarchy?
Let's look it up. What is the patriarchy?
Yeah.
What is the patriarchy? Let's look it up.
I reckon it's a household led by a man.
That's the way it should be, right?
That's how I interpret it. Yeah, I think that's how it should be.
But I think it's been the definition that they're using these days.
Yeah,
it's a bit different. It's It's meant to look like as if the patriarchy is an oppressing system that has oppressed women for thousands of years. So
as opposed to a protective.
Exactly. So the patriarchy.
Hold on.
I can read it.
Wicked.
A system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family, and descent is reckoned through the male line. a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. You see how the definitions are changing? A society or community organized on patriarchal lines. Okay, all right.
So why would that be triggering? Like, I guess because it looks like women are being left out. Like, maybe that's why it's going to be triggering.
No,
women want to lead too.
I don't. We good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Why is that? That's a good question. Why is that triggering?
Yeah, why is it?
Why is the patriarchy so triggering?
Yeah,
because first off, it's saying that men are in power.
Yeah. So do you think women aren't going to be upset about that? Like,
yeah, they're going to be upset about that because feminism's telling them that they're equal to us.
Yeah. So back in the day, they wouldn't have been like would have accepted it.
No, but that's you hit the nail in the head. Feminism has told women, has sold this lie to women that they are equal to men. All right. No wonder why they look at the patriarchy as an oppressive system, because you didn't allow us to be equal to you back then. So it must mean that you were oppressing us, because we were not equal to you back then.
Yeah.
Therefore, you oppressed us. So that's the reasoning behind it.
So the root of it is equality.
Equality. The idea that men and women are equal or should be equal. So
do you think men and women are equal?
Of course, men and women are not equul.
I don't.
Biologically speaking, psychologically speaking, men and women are not equal at all.
Yeah.
And this lie is what, it got us to the point where we even talking about a man should be a woman and a woman should be a man. It got us to this point. But men and women, since men and women are not equal, and this is a biological fact and a psychological fact. Yeah. Women are more emotional than men. Biologically, we are different. So because we are different, we play different roles in society due to our differences. So because of that, that's why this idea of equality is absolute nonsense. It's absolute rubbish. There's nothing equal about men and women. We just need to embrace who we are biologically and follow our roles. Society will be much better if we just do that. But for some reason, feminism has come along and has sold this idea that men and women should be equal, and that's what's causing all the problems that we currently have today. But the patriarchy for some reason seems to trigger people. Yeah,
because I'm thinking, how can you defend this? So I'm thinking now, okay, so what's like patriarchy is about leadership in the home, leadership in the government, even by men. So can't women make decisions, important decisions? Aren't women capable of making important decisions on a government level and a household levels? I think women should be. Should play a part in that, I reckon.
I have no qualms. I have no problems with women making those type of decisions. Yeah. But women usually don't go into those fields and don't want to go into those fields. And it has nothing to do with men oppressing them. It's just a natural role that comes with our biology. This is why, ask yourself this question. Why throughout human history, women were not in the army fighting?
Yeah, could it be that they weren't allowed?
No, were men oppressing?
But weren't allowed.
Were men oppressing women? Okay, I'll answer me this question. Were men oppressing women when they went to war and died, while women stayed home alive? Were they oppressing women then?
But there's pockets in history where there were women warriors around.
Okay.
So could it have been that they just weren't allowed? Like the men did not allow them in to the military.
I think the reason why is because women are weaker than men, because of that biological reality. You're not going to allow someone who's weaker than you to defend you, because you could potentially put yourself at risk. So for example, if you've got big, strong guys that can lift heavy swords, and they go out there fighting, I'll tell you what, you go out with a bunch of women, I'm gonna go with a bunch of tall guys and strong guys with heavy swords. You grab your women, you give them the right, and you go out there, and we'll see who wins the fight.
But strategically, David and Goliath, even in your scriptures, David beat Goliath, man.
That's different.
So you can win a war. You don't have to win a war by might all the time. You can win a war strategically. By outsmarting your opponent.
Nah, bro. Nah.
I think when it comes to war, there's a particular advantage to train a few women. Mainly because when all the men go to war to fight the big battle, you're going to need some trained women to stay back, hold it down back, because then you get counter attacks, and of the opposition know that there's no men there. So I think historically there was always a benefit to train a few women.
I just think that because men are stronger and they needed to defend the country, they're going to choose the strongest. If I was in charge of the army, I'm always going to pick the strongest in order to lead the battle. Yeah, go ahead.
Just say a man or the society that decides on the training program to become a soldier.
Okay.
You've developed the most toughest training program. So men and women apply. So if a woman gets to pass that training program, I reckon she should have a go at being a soldier.
No. But women are now allowed in the army.
And
they had to.
I don't think like there should be a woman version and a men's version. I think there should be
that's what they
one
have.
version, and
that's what they
whoever
have.
makes it.
They had, because there's a standard that your parents is like test you have to pass or something like that.
You've got to get through some training.
Some type of military standard, process, right? And apparently they had to lower the bar for women because of the biological reality that men are stronger than women. So the idea that men oppressed women, in the past is this is why this term patriarchy for some reason seems to trigger a lot of people. But the thing is, let's look at the equality that feminism is promoting. They wanted women to enter the workforce, right? That was part of the entire the idea of equality, right? That women should enter the workforce. How has that helped? How has that helped us? All right, because apparently women were not allowed to work, and you could, and there's a reason for that, So women have now entered the workforce. Now they're having babies later in life, which goes against their biological nature. All right, because women have a biological clock. They're most fertile at the age of 22, but for some reason. Because women have now entered the workforce. Now they're having babies when they are close to high risk pregnancy. The women are getting married. What's the average age?
I'd say 35 to 40.
When women get married today,
around 30,
31, exactly. That's why the birth rate has declined, because women are having. So part of this idea of equality was women entering the workforce. And how has that helped? How has that helped relationships, society, the families and so on? It hasn't helped at all. You see what I'm saying? So how are women being oppressed? To me, women are being oppressed right now because they dying alone. They're not even forming families. So
they're being oppressed now. Not only do they have to go to work, but if they want a family, they have to give birth.
They have to give birth. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Back in the days when this claim that the patriarchy was oppressing women, it's just oppressing the patriarchy, oppressing women is just a manipulation of words.
Yeah,
because really it was the men were protecting and providing for them.
Yeah, it's definitely
which is a standard. It's a standard practice throughout history. That
there's definitely an indoctrination propaganda element in there.
Yeah, it's the idea that men were bad to women because they didn't allow them to work. Because and I'm basically saying that's. I mean, they were doing it the right way back then because it ties in with the reality of our biology. Do you see what I'm saying? Why would a woman have babies or start a family when they're most infertile? They need to start it when they're most fertile. Do you see what I'm saying? Why are you going against your own biological nature in order to pursue a so-called job? Do you see what I'm saying? Not career, job. In order to do that, when we'll put enough to basically form families and so on. And don't forget, women entering the workforce has raised the cost of living, which made things even more difficult. Do you see what I'm saying? Now you need two people, two people working in order to raise a family. No wonder why the birth rate has declined.
Well, that was part of the plan, was to they thought it was going to be a positive when it's going to benefit the economy. It's going to make the economy bigger because there's more production going on. Yeah. But
I think feminism always knew that it was going to be, that it was going to turn out this way. Feminism, they knew ahead of time. They knew what was going to happen. They knew the outcome, the consequences. This idea that they were absolutely, blind and innocent about the outcome, that's absolute rubbish. They knew exactly what was going to happen by women entering the workforce. They knew ahead of time. The people who pushed this agenda knew ahead of time of what was going to happen.
So the ultimate agenda was always to just separate the man from the woman.
Yeah. That was it.
To break up the family.
Break up the family.
Just to destroy the planet.
Yeah.
Just to destroy humanity.
And demonize men by saying that the patriarchy apparently is evil.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked. It's worked. Because that's what we're seeing right now.
Because let's not forget the natural order things is a man is God, men, women, and child. Men protects, provides. The woman nurtures.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And you raise the child that way because that's the best outcome for a child is a father and mother, father that works and a mother that stays home and takes care of the household. Yeah. That is the best outcome. If you look at any successful families, that is always the, that is always the order of things.
Yeah.
Any successful family. But today, unfortunately, only the rich can afford to have a wife at home that, that can actually, that actually stays at home and nurtures the child and stays home. Because if both parents are working, who's raising that child?
All right. So that brings us on perfectly to our next to our next quote, which is, "A woman should know her place." An extremely triggering comment here that I'm sure most men in society would be scared to mention this in front of their families or friends or anyone. Yeah. But as the Solution Podcast, we're gonna hit it from head on.
Yes, we are.
Straight.
A woman should know her place.
What do you think, Kobe?
Listen, let me say this. How do you feel when I say, should a man should know their place? How do you feel about that?
Absolutely.
So I don't understand why women get triggered when that statement is made.
Don't you think a woman should know her place?
I agree. Yeah,
a woman should know her place.
Yeah, a woman should know her place, just like a man.
What do you think, Mo? A woman should know her place.
Everybody should know their place.
A woman should know her place. A man should know his place.
Yeah.
No. I'm not asking that.
Yeah.
What I'm asking is, a woman should know her place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. She should. Definitely.
But then you got to find the place.
Trust me.
Now you got to find the place.
It would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
If a woman knew her place.
Yeah, and that's the difficult thing now is defining her place because we live in a society where I don't know we're touching on unstable territory.
Yeah, but it's being redefined, right? Like they're moving away from the biological role.
Yeah.
Because I imagine the previous role for thousands of years was based on biology,
Based on a woman knowing her place.
Based on biology.
Based on biology. Her place.
Based on biology.
Based on biology.
Where's a woman's place? Let's deal with that.
But now but that's the thing. What is it based on now? Like when they say now we agree the woman's place is changing, it's being redefined. What is the foundation of that basis?
No. But
previously it was biology.
The term "a woman should know her place," all right, is looked at as something offensive today, right?
Yeah,
a woman should know her place, right? But historically, where would that place be?
Okay,
where did that term come from? Because that term came from somewhere. So when we say a woman should know her place, usually we are referring to a certain type of women and a certain type of place. Okay. So what is meant by a woman should know her place? Where's her place? Where's that woman's place?
To answer this statement, we need to, like Kobe said, we need to look at the biology and the main difference between men and women biology is that women give birth and men don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very simple fact that we're starting to get confused on these days. If a woman can give birth, it means her body, it's made her biological makeup is a bit more delicate than a man.
Yeah.
So her place should be at home in the kitchen.
Her place,
being taken care of.
Taking care of the kids. Yeah. Cooking
in the kitchen
for the kids.
Yes.
Yeah. And basically taking care of the household.
I just had a thought. if women were still
and getting people juice when they need juice.
Yes, absolutely. Without having to say please.
people
Yeah.
And a woman's place, what is meant by a woman should know her place is a woman's place is at home taking care of the household and taking care of the children. That's what is meant by a woman should know her place.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, for some reason, this term has become offensive.
Yeah.
Now, why has that become offensive?
Please let us know why.
Because a man's place is at work, providing, protecting.
Yeah.
I don't find that offensive. If someone told me what my role is as a man, I wouldn't find that offensive at all. You should know your place. Absolutely right. I need to go work.
Yeah.
I need to, that's my place. I need to raise my children under my leadership. Yeah, that's my place. A woman should also know her place, but for some reason, me saying a woman should know her place is now looked at as something offensive. Now, let's look at what's happened now. Now that it's bad to say a woman is, or it's offensive to say a woman should know her place, okay? Because now women have entered the workforce and so on. What has happened to the family? Ever since a woman stopped knowing where her place is, what has happened to the family? We can see that marriages are declining. We can see that the nuclear family is no longer together. We can see generation after generation, we have more degenerate kids,
you know what else you can see?
more broken homes. Ever since a woman stopped knowing her place and have entered the workforce, okay, which is the place of men, do you see what I'm saying? The cost of living has risen. We can see the destruction of the nuclear family ever since a woman stopped knowing her place.
Do you think it's part of the destruction of eating natural, healthy food as well? It's by the woman not cooking at home, it's given rise to fast food.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Uber Eats, all takeout.
Exactly.
It ties into all of that.
Yeah.
It's trickled down on that side as well.
You know, that good homemade food
Exactly.
that a man yearned
Iceland,
for when
microwave,
after he finished
microwave food, all of that, all that unhealthy food could be linked to that.
Yeah. Because back
right.
in the days, a woman, you know, she would you know, grocery shopping and all of that.
She'll cook with love.
Yeah, she'll cook with love and so on. A traditional
Yeah,
woman.
old school food.
When we're speaking of a woman should know her
Soul
place,
food.
that's a traditional woman.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That she would cook for her husband, and her husband after
That doesn't happen now.
Yeah, her husband would not be getting takeaway after work.
Exactly.
He would be going straight home, and because his wife would have a homemade cooked meal, you know what I'm saying, ready waiting for him.
They'll
Do you
be
see what I'm
eating
saying?
on the dining table,
They'll be
family,
eating the dining table with the family and all of that.
Does that even happen now?
That's when a woman knew her place. But that was beautiful. That's when you raise proper children. That's when you raise proper families. Now
Now it's chaos.
cooking. Most women don't like cooking. Most women don't cook.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what's happening.
The thing is now, women are being oppressed because they've been told to go out and work. And, you know, they haven't got time for this.
No, they've
for
been
this.
told that's freedom.
Yeah. Or the man should cook.
They don't even know that they've been oppressed. They've been told that the good thing to do is to go out there and work. That's the right thing to do. Is to go out there and work.
But that's what's confusing. Like when they were told that, didn't they see that if they go out and work, it's going to leave the children exposed? Like who's raising the children now? Or is it both parents now?
It's a selfish,
Raising the
self-serving
child.
mind. It's a selfish,
nanny,
self-serving
or
purpose.
Grandparents.
Or the grandparents.
Yeah,
Men are getting roped into doing cooking and working.
Yeah, it's a crossover.
And all for materialistic gain. Do you see what I'm saying? Not knowing that the more women join the workforce, the more the cost of living rises. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why before a man on his own personal income, he could, you know, raise and he had enough money to support the house and so on and so forth. But ever since women entered the workforce, the cost of living has risen, and now we find ourselves in this in the place that we find ourselves.
So do you think this is the successful market campaign of feminism that's caused this?
Absolutely.
So question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If there was a marketing campaign to the same level, same degree, with the message that men should want to have children, like men should want to give birth, do you think the men would have been sold on that idea and would now today be complaining that they should be at home? They should, like science, like the whole society would be directed to figure out how men should give birth and women go to work. Like if it was reversed, do you think men would have brought into this idea? Like,
I don't
if
think
that was the message.
I honestly think men would have never bought into this idea, just because feminism has been but up to a certain extent, men have accepted it.
Exactly, both have.
Yeah,
both
men,
have.
and I think it's called I call it the feminization of men.
Yeah.
And up to a certain extent, men, but I don't think initially men would have accepted it. But of course, we know that the feminist agenda is. It's an agenda led by the powers that be, and they're not gonna stop this agenda without without a fight. They're gonna keep pushing it. So
the ultimate agenda is satanic. It's
Luciferian. Yeah.
This brings us on perfectly to the next point as well. Yeah. This is great. All right, the next one is gender roles.
Jeez.
Gender roles are biological, man. It comes from our biology, because we have different. You see, when we obey our gender roles, we have good families. We have healthy families. We have healthy children. We have healthy, outcomes. We have good outcomes. And the studies prove all of this. So when we obey our biology and our biological and the roles that come out of our biology, we get only good things out of it. And men, of course, we are built to work hard. Because we don't give birth, we are strong, and because of that, that's where that gender role comes from, where men should protect and provide, where men should work. It's because of our biological. It's because of our anatomy. You know what I mean? And a woman, because she gives birth, she's weaker than us physically, she's more emotional, you know what I'm saying? That's why her role is different from that of the men. I mean, you just have to look. This is where the gender roles come from. It's through our biology. It's like me saying, it's like me telling my missus, look, listen, you carry that, some let's say a heavy bag, right? If I tell her, listen, look, I'll go and get the baby, you carry that heavy bag over there to the thing. We go, she's gonna look at me like I lost my mind. It's like, are you crazy? No, I'll go and get the baby. You get the heavy bags, because she understands that I'm stronger than her.
You can
understand.
carry more.
And I think that very point, if you go against gender roles, just from that simple example, can have disastrous consequences.
Yes.
Okay. Say your wife does be like, yeah, I can get that heavy bag. She goes and she's just given birth after however many months. The body might be a bit weaker than normal, but she thinks she's equal to a man. She goes and picks it up. She might damage her back. And
look, I'll give you another test. Try and take a woman out. And then try and take her out to a restaurant, and then turn around at the end of the meal and say, okay, we're going halves, right? You pay your half, I'll pay my half. I'll tell you what, right now, that woman is not seeing you again after that. After that meal, she's going to go about her way, because she understands that you are the man.
Well, modern women do that as well.
Exactly. There's a certain role that a man is supposed to play. Do you see what I'm saying? And this comes from our biology. She understands that.
That's a good point, because even a feminist, I think, would be upset with that. Even a feminist
would be like, no.
I can't lie. I've been on dates where women have been like, all right, let's go half, and they've insisted. Because of their ego, because they're so want to be feminists. No. Things are changing. Make no mistake, things are changing. I call it social engineering. You're starting to see these type of women more and more and more, but they're going against their nature. This is look. Listen, if feminism worked, we would see nuclear families being formed. We would see success. If this idea of partnership, half and half, worked, right? We wouldn't be seeing marriages not declining. We would be seeing marriages increasing. We would see nuclear families. We would see all the, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we would be seeing. That's not what the results show. All we see is more degeneracy. All we see is more broken homes. All we see is more. It's like each generation just becomes more degenerate. That's what we're seeing. So if more weirder,
if the feminist, if what the feminists are trying to promote was real, or successful, then we will be seeing the results now, because feminism has been around since the late 1800s.
Yeah, so we dropped the ball, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Drop the ball.
Okay, the next one on the list is men are stronger than women.
Jeez.
Yeah, I still remember.
Why the hell does this trigger people?
Bro, it does, bro.
It's crazy to me.
I had debates, 2 hours debate with women who were triggered because I said that men are stronger than women. I've even had men trying to argue with me, that trying to make a case for how a woman could be stronger than a man.
Yeah.
And it's this messed up way of thinking that's destroying women's sports.
But you see, women are upset now because these men in dresses are going into their sports
and taking over and beating them flat.
Like, what do you expect when you open a gate? Like, what do you expect?
It's a lesson to learn from all this. I don't know if any of you guys saw the Serena Williams, you know, the tennis player. She's the #1 tennis player.
That's right.
And she played like a man that was ranked 200 or something.
Oh, for real? Did she lose? Yeah.
Totally lost. It was a whitewash. She completely lost. And then on the interview afterwards, she was like, I have a new respect for men. They're stronger than us. They're this.
It's like, come on, man.
I'm sorry. It's just the truth.
How did we get here?
We're running.
But you know what? I got this quote. Right, there's a quote which played a part. It was by a Nazi German leader of propaganda, and this is the quote he made. You probably heard it before. If you repeat a lie often enough, people will believe, and you will even come to believe it yourself.
Yeah, I've
heard that saying?
I've heard the same.
Do you think that's what's going on now?
That's exactly what's going on now.
They're using that strategy on us today.
Bro, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what's going on.
Solution Podcast.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
we found the root of the problem here.
They're using media to repeatedly tell people. They're using media to repeatedly tell the lie, tell this lie, and they're saying it so much. And they're forcing people to believe in it through your workplace and so on and so forth.
You don't have to keep listening to this.
And that's why, going back to the other, a woman should know her place. That's why it's so, whoa, like you said that? That's why it's so triggering when someone says a woman should know her place. That's why, like, today everyone's like, oh, damn, why is that so offensive?
Yeah.
Because of that, if you repeat a lie long enough, people will believe in it, and then guess what? They'll develop an emotional attachment to it, and then boom, it becomes offensive. And when it becomes offensive, that's when it gets triggering. That's why me saying a man is stronger than a woman is now looked at as
when it's factually provable.
Are you serious? Bone density. It's like science will tell you a man is stronger than a woman. It's like what needs to happen, and it's being demonstrated over and over again through sports. There was one I saw one. It was a man fighting a woman, and he beat. This guy was so weak. Like, this guy would never survive against other men. You see what I'm saying? But he beat her to a pulp. And I was thinking, is this what you guys want to see? A woman getting beaten up in the name of equality? I was like, you look crazy. This is abuse.
Yeah. And for those that believe that there's some women that can beat up men, yes, there's always an exception to the rule. We're talking about the general consensus.
Yeah, regardless, bro. Regardless, he would have to be, somehow defective in some way, shape, or form for a woman to even be able to do that.
Yeah. Or there's some strong women out there.
But trust me, this idea is very harmful for women in the long run, and I don't advise any woman to think that you are stronger than a man. Please don't. Please don't, because it can. Please don't. You know what I mean? If he really reacts in that way, you could be in a lot of danger. Seriously,
a woman should know her roles.
Of course, absolutely, yes.
I think for her own safety.
For her own safety, she should know. She should know the boundaries, man.
It's dangerous when you start coming to physical violence and confrontation. There's serious
telling young women,
outcomes.
telling young women that you are stronger than a man. That's dangerous. Like I think, is it Pierce? What's his name?
Piers
Morgan.
Piers Morgan, yeah. He there was a feminist that was arguing with him, and she was making that same point. And he was just like, I think he brought up, what's this, the money guy, the boxer that never lost.
Oh, Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather. He would say, so you're telling me that if Floyd Mayweather identified as a woman tomorrow, that he could go into he could
Women
basically
boxing.
women boxing, and you're telling me that a woman could compete with him.
Yeah.
And she was arguing for it. See,
Defending that?
Yeah, she was defending that. She said yes.
Going,
and he says, and you're telling me you think that's fair? You think it would be equal? You think that's? And she was saying, yeah.
I don't think it hits home until they see it. No. Until they see the damage.
No, bro. They have seen the damage because we've got loads of examples.
Yeah.
Men joining the sports and women's sports, and they getting beaten up. And they getting beaten up, or they getting like it's not even fair.
Yeah.
So yeah,
this is the real oppression.
Yeah, that's the real oppression. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, next one on the list is women must submit to men.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's really triggering.
This is really triggering one.
Women get triggered by the word submit.
I think people are just being indoctrinated. Like, I don't know, like, again, it's back to the propaganda. The propaganda is feeding the messages and images of a perception of what submitting to men looks like, and it's just obscuring the reality of what submitting to men looks like.
I think a woman should submit to a man because she's weaker than a man. She needs the protection of a man.
Yeah.
A woman couldn't function. Bro, we have a lot of conveniences now, a lot of modern conveniences that somehow gives people this idea, especially women, gives them this idea that they don't need a man. I mean, you hear it from feminism all the time. It's one of their slogans. We don't need no man. That's because men built a world that has so many modern conveniences that made you so comfortable that now you can say those type of things. But a woman would naturally submit to a man if you take away all the modern conveniences and you go back to nature. She would naturally submit to a man because a woman cannot survive by herself in nature without the man protecting her. Not just protecting her from the elements, from animals, but also protecting her from other men. Yeah. Do you understand?
That's a key.
Is there anywhere in history where women have built the infrastructure of the society?
Never.
Furthermore, so do you think like women like just waited for men to build everything, and now they're like coming out on top saying, "No, we don't need you lot no more."
It's just the reality. It's just the biological reality of men and women. We play different roles, and they're trying to tell us that these roles don't exist. That what's biological is not true. It's just it's not that we are better than women. It's just that we play a different role from women. Women need us to survive. Without us, they can't survive. They had that what was that
and vice versa as well. Without women, men can't survive.
No. Men can't propagate. They can't survive in the sense that they can't reproduce.
Yeah,
but survive in terms of like survive. Like they did the document. It was like a thing. He always mentioned it. Kevin Samuels. He always mentioned it.
Rest in peace,
Godfather. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Bear Grylls or something like that. Bear Grylls. Basically, it was like a reality show where they put men and women into different islands. All right, we need to watch it. I think Bear Grylls season 2 or something like that. So the whole idea was, let's see if they drop them in an island, survive. Probably within the week, they had to come in several times.
That kind of experiment.
No. Within the week, they had to come several times to basically save women from the natural elements. So it's like a group of like 6 or 7 women. The men they already set up a hierarchy. You're doing this, you're doing that. They already set up the system. Yeah, we need to do a reaction to it. We need to do a reaction to it. We seriously need to.
Real.
And you guys, and these women were educated women.
Yeah,
these women were all from university, and they couldn't survive. They couldn't clean the water. They were arguing about who's. They were worried about killing an animal because they didn't think it was a little pig. They didn't know whether to kill it or not kill it.
Vegan.
Bro,
turn vegetarian.
Several times they had to come in and save the women from themselves, while men had already everything set up, everything done.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like these things shouldn't even be like.
You brought that to light, man. You brought that to light.
Come on, bro, man.
It shouldn't be triggering at all.
It shouldn't be triggering at all, man.
Like, people need to be aware of the manipulation when they're being manipulated.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. They don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to. I think it's like they enjoy that ego, that rush, that dopamine feel that they get from this idea that I could be better than a man, or I can instead of just being humble and obey your role and just, you know what I mean. Like I'm not jealous of my woman because she can give birth. I understand that's her role.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what the hell?
Why are women jealous of men? Like, because that's what it feels like. Like, why isn't a woman trying to aspire to be the most feminine woman in the world? Like, why is she aspiring to come into the man's world and be a masculine woman? Like because first they were sold a lie. Yeah, they were told that you are equal to men when you're not. And so it always comes back to that point.
Second, they're given benefits. For believing in these lies. They are rewarded for believing in these lies.
What are the benefits?
The benefits. For example, like a woman can make any accusation towards a man, and the police will always believe in the woman, and so on and so forth. Like in family courts, men are not given the benefit of the doubt. It's most of the time 90%. You know what I mean? Like if a woman gets pregnant, and she will be housed. She will be. There's loads of benefits that come with even just
incentives.
Yeah, it's like if whatever wrong a woman does, she's never looked at as you know, as her fault. She's never held accountable in society. You've got loads of movies in Hollywood always promoting the single mother as the good person, and the single father as the bad guy. He's always the bad guy. He left the family. He's the deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? While the woman, she's never held accountable. She's the struggling mom that's doing the best she can in order to raise her child, and she's working hard. These times now she's being housed by the government, and she's getting paid through it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, so women are consistently being rewarded for bad behavior. So because of that gives you a dopamine feel. That gives you that ego that you're better than. That you're better than someone else. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you're building a narcissistic person. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if someone rewarded you for anything that you did, whether bad or good. Yeah. They just, even if you did something bad, right? They rewarded you for it. Yeah. Bruv, you would be walking around as if you're God himself. Yeah.
But don't you think men should be wise enough to... don't you think men should be wise enough, should have been wise enough back then to foresee the play?
Yeah,
didn't see it coming.
Loads did, but you can't fight. It's like you can't fight the machine. Like it's an agenda. It's not. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the machine wants what it wants. It will change the laws to reflect whatever it wants. You see what I'm saying? And we can see the laws have been changed in order to reflect the agenda that they want to promote.
It's like it's been going on for so long now, and only now just a few of us are starting to see. Like the tip of the iceberg.
Bringing light to it,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, the next one, oh God, this is getting worse as we go along. the next one is abortion murder?
Damn. Technically it is, by definition. Wow. Let's look up the definition of murder, actually.
Yeah, let's look at the definition of murder.
Yeah. Because remember, I sent that screenshot of one of our YouTube videos.
Here, it's really hot. I'm sweating. Go on.
Some water.
No, go on. Yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, remember I sent the video of the screenshot of what the YouTube said from NHS about abortion.
Yeah.
Like how is defined abortion is the termination or something like that of a pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like it. Yeah, go on.
The unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another.
But so it's lawful. So it's not murder.
Unlawful.
Yeah.
So what they saying is, if it's lawful,
it's not murder.
It's not murder.
Yeah.
That's why that triggers everyone.
Yeah. So that's why the soldiers get away, because it's not unlawful.
Because it's.
Remember when I compared the soldier to the woman getting an abortion?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a like for like. That just proved my concept, because it fits for both of them.
Yeah.
Soldiers get to kill, women get to kill.
Yeah, because the law says so.
Exactly. So it's not murder. Ooh,
it's not murder.
I call it murder.
Yeah, how can you come back from this? Oh,
no, it's because it's murder.
So I think I'm changed now.
Well,
it's not murder.
There was a time when slavery was legal and you could own people.
Ooh, that's a good example.
That was also lawful.
That's a good example.
You want to go back to them days?
Hell no.
Well, it was lawful.
Yeah. Jeez, that was a good comeback.
Yeah, that was
comeback.
It was lawful, bro.
So really,
if you're going to judge morality upon what is lawful and what is unlawful, then bro, we might as well go back to slavery now because it was also lawful.
Yeah. So
laws changed. Okay, change in time.
The fact is, this is what you're doing. A person is freely going to doctor or whatever. The people that
a clinic or something.
A clinic. She goes to a clinic with the intention of killing the life. Yeah, it's premeditated murder. Yeah. She is going with the intention of killing that life.
Decision, it's an intent.
So why is she going there?
And it's another human being.
If it's not a human being growing in her, if it's not alive, why bother going to why bother go to a clinic? It's not alive. No, she's intentionally going up there, and in order to murder that child, because I think one of the legal definition of murder, I think, is when you intentionally murder someone. That's the legal definition, I think, of what murder is. And that's what's happening. I reckon that
they're planning it.
I think it's triggering because of the reality of actually going through. Because remember what you're doing. What they're doing is they're crushing the skull of a baby. Okay, they're putting things in the scrap. They're ripping each limb. They're ripping the limbs, the legs, the arms, and then they're crushing the skull. And then what they do is they put I think they put like something to suck it all out. So all those body parts are all sucked out. That's what's actually happening. And I think what's triggering is when people going through that reality is very bad. It's an awful experience. And a lot of people don't want to face up to that reality. They don't want to see what's really happening. That's why it's so triggering. So what you're doing is you force yourself to forget about it, even though you know what you did is wrong. So you bury it deep inside you. So when I come along and I say abortion is murder, it's like it all comes up again. It reminds them of that. And that's why I think it's so triggering. You see what I'm saying? But it shouldn't be triggering because
it's the truth.
Because it's the truth. So it is murder.
Question. So when that says unlawful, in the definition, do you think it could be from unlawful from a spiritual, moral perspective?
No, it's from a legal perspective.
No, but from your perspective, from your definition of murder, are you looking at it from a moral, that is violating a moral, like?
No, I'm looking at the act itself. It's premeditated murder is when you intentionally.
But the unlawful part, though, right?
What about
for you? You still believe in abortion as murder, right?
No. What they say in there is only the state has the right to kill another person.
Yeah.
And the state decides, the government decides whether when the state carries out murder, or when they because murder is intentionally killing someone. Yeah. So when they carry out the murder, they're not being real with their definitions. When the government does it, that's okay. That's lawful.
You gave the example unlawful, of slavery. And that shuts that down.
Yeah, unlawful is when you go against the state, or you carry out the same act, but you do it without the state's permission or the government's permission.
What I'm trying to get is the different kind of laws. There's the government laws of society. There's moral laws and there's spiritual laws. So, for the way I see it, by someone still believing abortion is murder, is because from a spiritual law perspective or morally law perspective, you're still committing, you're still being unlawful.
Basically, if you take out the unlawful bit, it's just the premeditated killing of one human being by another.
Yeah, I'm sure that that's it. I reckon that would have been the case once upon a time.
Yeah. No, but that's actually the definition of it.
That's the definition of it.
What they say in there is, when the government does it is right. When you if you do it without the government's permission, then you're wrong. You know what I mean? So that's basically what they say.
Language, They just put in one word and it can change a whole different path.
Yeah, it's all in the language. Study the language, man.
Okay, all right. The next one. Okay, what is a woman? It's tricky. It's a tricky question these days.
Mo,
actually,
what is a woman?
A woman is
he doesn't
a woman.
Know. He doesn't know.
A woman is a woman.
I'm definitely going biology on this one.
A biological woman is okay. I got it. A woman is someone who was born a female.
Yeah, at birth.
At birth.
Yeah. It has the female sex organs.
How can you look at yourself in the mirror? You're misogynistic. What is a woman, bro?
Yeah, is a human with a female biological organs.
Okay.
Okay. What if a man decides to change his biological organs to female?
Is that possible?
Via surgery?
If they figure that out, jeez,
does that make
hell no? Well, then at birth then.
No,
you got to
a woman is someone who's born with the XX chromosome. Okay. A woman has a uterus. A woman can give birth. A woman has the anatomy of a woman.
But that's the key point, though. At birth is what your sex is at birth.
If you change your sexual organs, you can't give birth.
But what if science figured it out one day? Like Mo just said.
Well, they're working towards it.
Exactly.
I don't.
Is that a woman now? Because
I don't think they will. But that's what a woman is. And like forget everything else. That's what a woman actually is. But what's happening is they, because of the idea. Because of the idea gender is a social construct, which started with Simone de Beauvoir back in 1920s, and other feminists have followed through. Betty Friedan, she was another feminist that believed and read a lot of what Simone de Beauvoir basically came up with, which is gender is a social construct, meaning regardless of what sex you're born with, that doesn't make you male or female. So, for example, you might be born with male sexual organs, but that doesn't actually make you a man. Whether you are doesn't make you a male. Society defines that for you, basically. So they say in gender and what sex you're born with is different. That's what they're trying to argue, and that's why you have now what you have, where they want boys to become girls and girls to become boys, and they're pushing that ideology in schools and trying to get children to.
The grounds of why they're saying that it's not, you shouldn't determine it by the biological. You know what I mean? But what's their grounds of saying of rejecting the biological
reality?
Well, they're saying,
like, what's the counter argument?
They're saying it's a social construct, isn't it?
Oh, because
they're saying gender is a social construct.
Yeah.
Meaning
so society says this is what a woman is. This is
what a man is, basically.
Oh
so they say nothing to do with your sex.
It's not grounded on, it's someone's opinion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to what someone thinks in their head.
And this is how we've got what we've got today.
Listen, guys. Do as thy will. It's about what you feel and think. It's not about reality. It's not about biological reality. It's not about that. It's about how you feel. So if you are born with female sexual organs and you feel like you are a man, then
based on that ground,
then society should not tell you that you are a woman. They should let you become a man,
even though reality says that way.
That's why you got gender fluid. Because like one day they wake up, oh, I'm a man. Next day they wake up, oh, I'm a woman.
Is that what that means?
Yeah. So they can switch. And
I mean, this is why you have all these different genders. It wasn't until this ideology started being pushed that this idea of there are, I don't know how many genders there are now, but that's why you've got so many gender fluid. They've got all types of different
the alphabet
genders.
soup is just being extended.
Basically, it's being extended to almost like, it's like, if I feel like I am something now, guess what? They're gonna add that to it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's like whatever someone feels like. It's what.
I feel like, because lately I've been feeling like a scorpion. Like,
there you go.
Before I was a shark. I've now become a scorpion. I've studied the scorpion. I've studied the ways of a scorpion. Yeah. And I'm aspiring to be a scorpion,
bro. I feel like a lion, bro.
For real.
But yesterday I was like, am I a tiger?
For real.
You know I was feeling a bit more like
man.
I was feeling a bit more like a tiger day before, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Poor you, man.
And I was thinking about that's a feeling of being a horse. It always keeps popping up somehow, you know what I mean?
That's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, so it's no longer based on reality. Reality no longer exists to these people.
Wow. And they put money behind this.
Yeah, and it ties into the idea that
business.
And it ties into the idea of this is why me saying a man is stronger than a woman is so big, because with this ideology where I can be anything I want to be, I feel like a man. It's like no wonder why me saying something like that would be so triggering. A man is stronger than a woman. What? Because what if she turns around and says, I feel like I'm stronger than a man? It has to be validated. It has to be validated, because guess what? She feels like that.
Go test it then. See what happens.
That's where they stop. And but actually they are going. They're testing it out. They are testing. They're getting beaten up.
Yeah, they are getting beaten up. There's like there was a trans whatever in the women's swimming. And he won the gold medal. And competing against women.
Of that guy. I saw the sounds
breaking records.
So that's not fair. That's not fair, bro. I was like, bro, how can you look at yourself in the mirror and do that to women?
Yeah,
bro?
exactly.
It's like, bro, what is wrong with you,
bro? It just proves that Nazi statement is at work out.
Men are sick, bro.
It's just
any man that
crazy.
Any man that does, it's that statement there. But any man that does that is sick in the head, bro.
How about a man identifying as a woman before he go to jail? So he goes to a women's jail.
Yeah, that's where.
Oh yeah, apparently loads of women are being raped. They've got a few cases now of men that have identified as a woman, and they went to the women's
They're
jail.
actually doing this in real life.
Yeah, and
this is happening.
Yeah, it's happening in real life. And they raped women in jail and got a few of them pregnant. Stop. This is a fact. Also, this is the problem with the issue with the bathrooms. The toilets, right? What they bro, do you know right now it's legal for you to go to a female's toilet right now. And if any female says anything to you, all you have to say is, "What are you talking about? I'm a woman." Bro, you don't have to look like a woman.
Yeah.
Beard, everything.
Stop. Why do they open the gate, man?
Again, this is the real oppression.
Yeah,
this is the real oppression against women.
That's the real
coming
oppression.
It's coming.
That's coming.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you open the gate. It turns against you.
Yeah,
you thought you had good intentions, but it wasn't well thought out. And look at what's happening. Like it's just you let the animal out the cage, and it's just running wild, getting weirder and weirder. It's getting weirder and weirder until they look for the then they start looking at religion and stuff. Then they're gonna backtrack and start looking at where they went wrong.
Man, then it'll be too late.
This leads us on to the next one, because would you get triggered if I said your sex is your gender?
Not at all.
Because it makes sense.
Not at all, yeah.
Because listen, if I'm born with male sexual organs, my entire biology will also be defined by that. For example, that's why I've got stronger bones. My bone density is what I mean. It will reflect that. You see what I'm saying? So no, my sex is directly linked to my gender. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I can't give birth. That's another one.
You don't produce milk.
Why is that triggering? But in today's world, that is triggering.
Yeah. How?
It's triggering because people are taught that their gender is how they feel it in their head.
Yeah.
This is the
based
problem.
on that grounds.
Based on that ground.
Of feeling.
Wow. Do as thy will.
Wow.
Do whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
This is what they're pushing.
Do you know
That's
what?
the reality.
It's kind of getting closely linked with mental health.
Exactly.
I should have.
Exactly.
Because
Mental health is
in
another
your
one.
head, if you're a man and in your head you feel like
exactly
a woman, woman, that's kind of going on to like grounds for mental health.
Yeah, and let's say I tell you, and let's say you come to me, let's say one day Mo says to me, bro, I feel like a woman. What? And then I say, Mo, what are you talking about? So you're a man. You've been a man all your life. Where's all this coming from?
Yeah. How did you?
Boom. Mental health.
Ooh. So do you think that
because I've denied his reality, because I went against what he believes he is, against how he feels he is. Now, it's like I haven't accepted his reality. No, he's got mental health now because I basically went against. I said, no, you're not. Bro, no, I am, and you need to accept me for who I am.
And actually, now I can go to the authorities, to the institutions that be, and say, not only am I experiencing this, but I'm also experiencing discrimination from my peers, from Octavio here.
Octavio here just won't leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep reminding me. Keep saying I'm a man.
Yeah, he keeps saying I'm a man, but in my head I think like a woman.
Every time I try to bring up the topic, you won't want to hear it.
Which means I can go, maybe I can go on job seekers allowance and who knows what else?
Yeah.
What are the benefits out there?
The whole LGBTQ movement is based on that. It's based on accept us for who we are. And it's like, listen, the law already says it's okay for you to do, do these things. So why are you still pushing this onto us? It's like, be you. It's not illegal for you to be how you want to be. So why do you need these huge parades and telling everyone, you know what I mean? And the entire idea is they're trying to make us feel like, oh no, you're discriminating us because you won't accept us. Do you see what I'm saying? And boom, mental health.
Well, we're under siege.
So linked.
We're under siege. Like the quote of the day, if you repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it, and you will even come to believe it yourself.
That's right.
This is all that's happening. They're just working brain. We're under siege, and you guys just need to become conscious, learn some spiritual truths, learn a strong moral foundation, and you can
come out of that.
Yeah.
I think with that quote of the day.
Yeah.
You've hit the underlying key factor in all of this that makes it possible. The root of the problem.
But Octavio made a great point when we were talking on the phone.
Always.
That even though we're under siege and they're trying to force this upon us, they've got us. If we like the consequences of not agreeing with not going along with this narrative, is losing your livelihood, losing your job, losing your being ridiculed and stuff like that. Yeah, but having the law, like the law is gonna come against you. You could lose. They
have
job.
tactics.
It's not as easy to just reject all this. People's livelihoods.
They will literally ostracize you from society. We're heading towards
the big problem.
There's going to be a time. I think we are already in that time now, but it's only going to get worse now, where people are going to be ostracized for not agreeing with their agenda.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of.
I think this is the main reason that a lot of men just kind of go along with all this.
Yeah.
Like, you can understand women; they're like, "No, we are, but we are as good, we are as strong."
Yeah.
But when men start to do it, it's
I got an issue.
a lot of it. A lot of it's like you say, like fear.
Yeah,
it's the fear factor.
Yeah, I think men have become mentally lazy.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
But it's also because of it's like, I don't want to lose my house.
Yeah,
I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to
that too.
lose the things that I enjoy doing in society. I don't want to lose my security. I don't want to lose the things that I've built for myself. So guess what? In order for me not to lose all these things, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go along with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go along with it because that way I get to enjoy my life, and and doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm living my life. They can live theirs.
Yeah.
They're not thinking long term.
Yeah.
Okay,
for the next
maybe
generation.
your generation, this won't be a issue. What about the next generation?
Yeah.
The next generation? The next generation after that?
Yeah.
Because they'll keep pushing and pushing this until, until they've reached the point that they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be good in the long run. You see what I'm saying? But that's why a lot of people ain't speaking out against it, because they're afraid of what they're going to lose. And to me, that's a selfish mentality, because you're thinking about yourself rather than future generations that are.
There's a saying, what one generation accepts, the next generation embraces.
There you go.
So we accept all this now. The next generation are gonna think this is normal and embrace it.
Yeah.
And that's a road to destruction.
That's right.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, the next one is men want virgins and younger women.
That's definitely triggering.
Why is that so triggering? And it's usually you'll hear it from older women.
Yeah.
They're the ones who try to shame men for their preferences, for what they find attractive in women. We want virgins. Oh, you like to manipulate. We want young women. You like to manipulate women.
Okay, let me ask you.
You like to control women.
Let me ask you a question. Why do men want virgins? What is the big deal?
I feel like it's they'll be more fruitful. Like you can potentially have more children. Like if a man's natural desire is to spread his seed and populate the land, like that's the best frame. Like,
but you can do that with a woman that's not a virgin.
True. Yeah, I'm not even sure how to counter that, to be honest.
Pair bonding.
Okay, pair bonding. So what? That means she's not going to be loyal to you.
It's more difficult to pair bond with a woman that has
she's going to cheat on you.
Yeah, no.
Is that the argument?
It's more difficult to pair bond with a woman that has a high body count than it is to pair bond with a woman that's a virgin. Okay, due to the fact that women produce high levels of oxytocin.
Yeah.
And when a woman has a high body count, it comes with more trauma. Okay, remember, oxytocin allows them to get close to that person or the person that they had sex with. Now, if you got a high body count, then that's a lot of trauma there, because
you can't be connected to all of these people.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And that in the long term,
that's conflict.
Doesn't ensure paternity. You know what I mean? It doesn't ensure paternity, because what it's like a woman like that.
Yeah.
The likelihood of her cheating, the likelihood of her going astray, the likelihood of her, increases. This is why two virgins it's the best. It's the best outcome for a long-term relationship than a woman who's got a high body count and then tries to have a long-term relationship. Women that have high body counts usually don't have long-term relationships.
Yeah.
This is what
so she's
happening.
More likely to leave you, basically.
She's more likely to leave.
She's
Yes,
not a virgin.
Yeah, that's and that's the reason why. And plus, men just don't like the idea of being with a woman that slept with a lot of men. But subconsciously we know that it's really to do with pair bonding. Like we know that, but of course we don't communicate it in that way. We just say, well, we just don't like it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and then they try to use that against us. Oh, you know, why don't you like it? You because you don't like it, you must not like women. You must not. You must want to manipulate. You want the virgin so you can manipulate her. So they try to counteract that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, but that's not the real reality. Is women with high body counts, it's not attractive for those reasons. Because it's more difficult to pair bond with a woman with a high body count. I
think you touched on a really important point there, which is it's the best way for a man to ensure paternity, to ensure that child is actually his.
Yeah, I was going to say
if
that
there's
as well,
if a woman has stepped, even with a few other people, you're not 100% sure. I mean, now you got DNA tests, but before you were no way gonna tell if that's actually your kid.
Mo. Even today with DNA tests, you know how many men are raising children that are not theirs?
I heard the number is increasing.
It's increasing. Because guess what? How many men, after having a relationship with a woman, will turn around and say to a woman, I need a paternity test on that child. Men ain't gonna ask that. They're not gonna ask that. So if you knew how many men today, even with the technology that we have, because see, people are deceptive. Human beings are deceptive. If you knew how many men today are raising children that are not theirs and they don't even know.
That's a crime.
Because most men don't ask that question because it's offensive to ask that question. So most men don't,
because most men put women on a pedestal, right? They
that's the problem.
Angels of beings from heaven, like
far from it, man.
That can do no wrong.
So are we? They're far from it as well. You know what I mean, but no, they're not angels.
So they
at
just
all.
assume that they're innocent, so they will never be deceptive or deceived. Times are changing.
I mean, I can't think of anything worse for a man to go through. Imagine all the depending on how many years he's put into that, time, resources, love.
That's evil.
All that. That is evil. It should be
that sacrifice, just
sacrifice for someone that isn't your legacy.
Bruv, it's the most. It's like ripping your heart apart. Like,
do you think that should be a crime? Like, if a woman did that she should be sent to jail.
Bruv, lock him up and throw away the key.
That's prison.
No, because the thing is,
that is definitely crime worthy.
I think that's crime levels.
But in this feminist,
it's fraud, isn't it?
Fraud,
But in this feminist construct, this feminist society, it will never be a crime.
It
will never be.
We got to destroy the feminine ideology first. We're doing it.
Okay, that leads us on well to the next one as well, which is single mothers create degenerates.
They do.
How do you know? How do you know that single mothers create degenerates?
Clubhouse, different groups on Facebook. Me saying, I mean,
I don't know how to defend this. I don't know.
But you've seen it. How much?
The evidence is rampant, man.
90% of prison inmates,
give the statistics, man,
they come from single mother households. Most of the abusers, rapists, they come from single mother households. School shooters, they come from single mother households. I mean, the evidence is just too much. I mean, but the thing is, but for some reason it's triggering. Why? Because at one side you have a society promoting it, making single mothers, like I said, the movies, right? They promote it, making single mothers look good, okay? And then the other side, you get all this degeneracy. You know what I mean? The reality that doesn't get promoted, that doesn't get, exposed. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so, bro, like, but the evidence is...
What's the statement again? Just to remind me.
Single mothers create degenerates.
Gosh.
I'm sorry, bro.
You're triggered by
most of the people I know come from single parent households. And most of the people I know are degenerates. That's That's why I don't hang around with people.
Well, bro, but the thing is, my heart goes out to them because it's not easy. Listen, man, growing up in single mother households especially for men, it creates emotionally unstable men, and emotionally unstable men are danger. They are
very dangerous.
They are very dangerous because we have a lot of strength, and the havoc that they can cause in society. Because they are unstable, because they've never had that male, you know what I mean, that male discipline. You know what I mean, like
it's chaos.
It's chaos. It's pure chaos, and they doing this on purpose.
With the ability to hurt people physically.
You don't.
So why are they triggered? Why are they triggered though? Is it because they don't accept the truth? They can't handle the truth?
Because there's a culture. It's a culture that's being promoted as good, and
it's
being normalized.
Gosh.
It's being looked at as something that it's okay to do. You know what I mean? The law rewards women for being single mothers. You see what I'm saying? So, and a lot of it is also to do with the fact that they don't want to face up to the consequences of their own mistakes. Do you see what I'm saying?
They don't want to own it.
I abandoned my relationship because I wasn't happy, or he didn't earn enough money. So guess what? I decided to raise the children by myself because the government allowed me to. Now my children have become degenerates. Okay? I don't want to face up to that reality. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get triggered by that. If I come along now, here comes O with his opinions. You see what I'm saying? Single mothers create degenerate household. Degenerate children. I'm going to get triggered because guess what? I don't want to face up. Human beings hate accountability. They hate accountability. They will do anything and everything to avoid it at all costs. And, do
you think we live in a morally immature society? We've groomed a social engineered society of morally, spiritually immature people.
I wouldn't call it mature. I would call straight up degenerate.
But
the things that society promotes.
But degeneracy is the results, though. The degenerate is the bad behavior and the results we're getting. But the cause of it it's from a moral, spiritual foundation.
But the thing is, this society has no moral foundation. That's the problem. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. So the things that get promoted give the results that produce degeneracy.
Why don't we think about morality no more? What the hell went wrong?
Because we are operating off of
how we feel.
Do as thy will.
Do as thy will.
Mentality. We are operating on that plane.
Jeez, that gave the license to just scrap morality. Damn.
They're slowly just like combing it out of our society.
Jeez.
That's why it's okay for you to have children out of wedlock. This is why it's okay for you to leave your child. This is why it's okay for a man to be a woman and a woman to be a man. This is why it's okay to, you know what I mean? It's all operating off of that. Do as thy will mentality. It's all operating off of that,
which is a half truth, relative truth. It's do what thy will without violating the rights of others. It's a paradox. It's a paradox.
But if the rights of others is about, let's say the rights of others is about abusing children, do you see what I'm saying? And they telling, this is the danger of it, because it's
but
like,
that's not the rights of others, though.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. The idea of inclusiveness. Remember, one day pedophilia will be legalized, and they're gonna be making the same argument. They should also be included. It should. They're not hurting your kid.
It's getting crazier. It's getting crazier and crazier. It's
hot in here.
It's getting weirder, boy.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
All right. Okay, and the last one on the list. We always save the best for last here. Is Jesus Christ. Does Jesus Christ trigger people?
Oh yes,
a lot of people.
Well, you're not a Christian. Go and tell them.
Yeah, I mean,
what have you seen?
I've got a love-hate relationship with my boy.
Not you personally, but society in general.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Do you see it in society?
Absolutely, because you speak to someone, and then like when I speak to Christians, like they tell me all this Christian stuff, this righteous stuff, and then I look at their lives, And then I asked them, why aren't you aspiring to be like your boy JC?
Your boy JC.
They
I'm triggered.
Yeah, they can't answer that question. Or they say they're not perfect. Like the answer's not satisfactory, basically.
Well, but you do see it when JC is mentioned. So how am I using it? When Jesus Christ is mentioned, people get triggered, right? Mo, what have you seen?
Yeah.
See, people don't want to accept that, you know, there used to be a moral guide.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah.
People don't want to accept that. People think now, oh, but now, you know, my iPhone is the moral guide, isn't it?
Yeah,
But that's not what's going on Instagram.
That's a very good
It's not
point.
what's going on Facebook. So why should I listen to Jesus Christ, who has a whole load of teachings? In fact,
moral direction.
One of the, probably, I think we discussed this before. The most read book in history.
Most famous book in history.
Most famous book in history.
The most printed book in history.
Oh,
a following of the biggest religion on the world.
Period.
That's another debate.
But people are like, okay, regardless of all these facts, they still want to say, yeah, but on Instagram it says this. Okay, so that's where you're taking your new religious ideologies from.
So do you think this is what's happening when you bring up Jesus Christ?
Whenever Jesus Christ is mentioned.
Yeah, right. Listen to this. Listen to this. People have accepted the concept of do what thou will.
Yes.
So when Jesus Christ is mentioned, that morality concept, that spiritual morality.
You took my point away.
Oh,
because that's exactly what I was going to go into.
Okay.
It's a reflection. It's almost like accountability.
Yeah,
it's like
it's the standard.
The life of Jesus.
Yeah, now you got to read
the life of Jesus and what he says is the standard, and every human being recognizes that it's the right way of doing things.
Yeah.
But because they have accepted that do as thy will mentality and they are following it without even knowing it, because they're doing that it almost like how do I say this? It almost like it triggers them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's triggering. This is why Jesus Christ is so triggering.
Breakthroughs today.
Now imagine all he's talking about is. Even says forgive your enemies. Don't be angry with your brother. How is that? How can that be so triggering to you? Like I don't get it. Like I really don't get that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like Jesus Christ doesn't tell Christians to hate LGBTQ people. It doesn't tell me to hate another human being. It just tells me that being lesbian gay is a sin, but we should never hate the actual person. Yes, we don't agree with what you're doing, but we must try and bring you to the truth. Do you see what I'm saying? If you want to, if you don't want to, it's practically fine. Do you see what I'm saying? But we are still ordered to love you as a neighbor, because every human being is made in the image of God, and so because every human being is made in the image of God, they have equal dignity, and you can't hate a person who is LGBTQ. You can't hate a person because of the skin color. You can't do that in Christianity. If you do that, you just went against everything that Christ taught. That's why when he's on the cross, he's actually literally forgiving his own enemies while he's being so. This idea that we hate because we disagree or we think that what you're doing is a sin, then that must mean that we hate you as well. Is a complete lie that they are trying to push out there. We don't
go out and act violently or nothing crazy like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Still love you. Still, human respect is number one. Always.
You don't see Christians bombing abortion clinics. They're just outside
protesting.
They're just outside. Even then, the government told them to be further away. They even told them to be further away, but for some reason, but the thing is, you hit the nail on the head when you said it reminds them, that moral standard reminds them of the reality of that. It reminds them of where they're going wrong. So in order to, that's why they get so triggered. That's why they get so upset.
This is where I'm with your boy. I mess with Jesus in that way. I mess with him in that way. He's a good example to get inspiration from.
I think it's interesting because all these points, they kind of hit an internal conflict
Yes.
Yes. Well said.
Yes.
Well
Of
said.
what
Whatever people are going through.
what people know to be fact and what people are told to be facts.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Like, see the point with Jesus. Do you think? No, like the smear campaign of because another reason why when people hear Jesus' name, it's like they feel like they're gonna be brainwashed. It's like someone's gonna start preaching to them. So they're like back away because they don't want to be preached to. Do you think it's because of the smear campaign of what the priests have been caught doing and the pastors like just exploiting the community, like because the leadership of the Jesus followers hasn't represented Jesus well? I think that plays a part.
No, but I think this hits a point that we've been talking about recently, that you know that Christianity is under attack.
Yeah.
It is. Actually,
but it's up to the leaders to hold it up, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Spiritual warfare. No, it's up to the leaders to push back and show resilience.
Look, no, it's
lead
not.
by example.
Christianity does not need pious men or good men to keep it. Christianity has the authority in Christianity is Jesus Christ. You are called to follow Jesus Christ, not called to follow human beings.
Not the Pope.
No. We accept the authority of the Pope on the basis that he follows Jesus Christ, and everything that he asks its people to follow or its followers to follow reflects everything that Jesus Christ taught. This is the basis by which we consider the Pope as someone worthy to follow. Now, what the point is, what people use that as an excuse to avoid following Jesus Christ. That's what they do. So they will blame it on that priest that did something horrific to a child, okay, or abused the child or whatever, right? They'll blame it on that priest in order to avoid that internal conflict, or in order to avoid following Christ. Okay, no one asked you to follow that priest. What that priest did is evil, but guess what? Pedophilia is everywhere. It's in every single establishment. The reason why the media are so bent to attack Catholicism is because the Catholic religion is the biggest. First of all, is the biggest it's the biggest religion in the world, and they haven't accepted gay marriages. They haven't accepted any of that. So the problem is they want them to accept it, just like what do you call it? I think the Anglican Church has accepted it. I think the Church of England has accepted it. So what the media propaganda does is they want to attack it. Why? Because they want to destroy Christianity. They want to destroy Christ. So guess what? They'll use that priest. They'll use that. And guess what? Because people are already following this ideology, do as thy will, and they've already have given into it. Do you know what? This is just helping them avoid it more and more. It plays into it perfectly. Do you see what I'm saying? So guess what? I'm not going to follow Christ because look at what those priests did. It's like, who told you to follow those priests? When was the last time you were told to follow those priests? Okay, forget following Catholicism. Forget following as if pedophilia don't happen in every organization, every part of the thing. Forget following these religions. Follow the Bible then. Follow Christ. I'll be happier then. But they don't want to do that either. So this is how you know they're just being hypocrites and they just basically finding excuses not to follow. That's all it is.
It's almost a situation where they have to attack Christianity because Christianity is the main force going against this messed up. There
you go.
This messed up system. Agenda.
You reckon not Islam
that we've got going on at the moment.
Like Andrew Tate and your boy Sneeko, like not Sneeko, but Andrew Tate.
I've got my own thoughts in it, but I don't.
I mean, to be honest, they're attacking Islam as well. We've just come through like the last 20 years of Islamophobia.
I agree.
And maybe that's another force. That's another force that goes against the agenda.
That was the discredit of Islam, like their attack from the powers that be. Yeah, everyone's getting it anyway.
Everyone's getting it. Yeah.
No. But Christianity, I have to say this on there. Christianity is the most persecuted religion on earth. Seriously, we can even play. We won't do it now, but we can even play. I should share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Christianity is the most persecuted religion in the world by far. So that's a fact. Anyone can Google that, research that, and you see it. But yeah, man. Yeah. What's the solution?
The solution. Ooh.
Learn a spiritual philosophy, man.
I think yeah, that's a good one. I would encourage all men to grow a brain and practice independent thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Critical thinking.
Critical independent thinking.
Yeah.
My solution is keep triggering them, because to me, truth should not be triggering, and trying to shut me up for speaking the truth. Because to me, it just sounds like a way of stopping people from telling the truth. True. I'm triggered, so therefore you shouldn't be talking about this.
Regardless
to me,
of how factual it is.
Regardless of how factual it is. It's another way to manipulate people to not speak the truth, and to not change things in the future. Yeah. So I say keep saying these things that seem to trigger the hell out of them, because we need to stop caring about ourselves. We need to start caring about the next generation.
Amen.
Otherwise, we just pursuing a selfish enterprise. And I'm sorry to say, keep triggering them, because.
So, like, we should be able to communicate the raw truth, or the truth raw, without sugarcoating it. We should have that freedom to just give you the truth raw.
Yeah.
How you respond to that shouldn't be on the communicator.
It's your business.
Yeah, right. It's for you to go away and figure it out. Yeah. But if you don't like it, if you get told the truth or a fact and you don't like it, it's up to you to go away and understand why. Not persecute the person telling you the message.
Yeah. If you don't like it, you don't like it. End of. I mean, at least you grow, you get to live another day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one died because they didn't like something.
Yeah, but you can't say that he wasn't lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't need to get triggered.
Yeah, you don't need to get triggered.
Yeah, we shouldn't be prosecuting people for talking the truth. Like, this is not the society we should be creating.
Yeah.
All right.
So another one.
Great episode.
Sorry guys, I was sweating. See you next episode. It's really hot, man.
Make sure you check out the website. Solution Patriots.
Yes.
.com.
Be a patriot, man.
Sign up to the mailing list for the regular updates.
Yes.
Lots more to come.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There you go.